Hello, I'm Bill Heran, the author of The Missing Piece. Today we are going to be reading February 6th. The Clinging as Suffering is our theme, clinging as suffering. And the quote is: when we need the compassion and courage to change conditions that support our suffering, those conditions are things like ignorance, bitterness, negligence, clinging, and holding on. That's a quote by Sharon Salzberg. We need to become aware of the suffering associated with clinging to things that are, by their nature, transient and ultimately unsatisfactory. These things do not promote self awareness or a calm state of mind. In fact, clinging to people, places, and things in our lives mostly promotes discontentment, disappointments, and resentments. As Anthony de Mello, a famous Jesuit, wrote, clinging blunts our creativity. We cling to beliefs as if they were absolutely true. We compare these beliefs to other beliefs when we judge our beliefs as better than others' perceived beliefs. Uh, the narrative itself is an object of clinging within the restless mind structure. But we don't need to suffer like this, actually. The more we choose to cling to things, including our own narratives, the more we will experience a great deal of unnecessary psychic pain. I often hear from women and men in early recovery about how painful it is to recall the events from the past while they were using alcohol or drugs, bringing with it a great deal of guilt, shame, and suffering. The bottom line is that clinging involves saying to yourself, I'm not okay in this moment. Clinging is a form of high drama that has potential to create chaos and insanity in your life. In many spiritual wisdom traditions, suffering is described as the core of the human condition. Buddhism, for example, in a particular way, describes clinging as the primary reason why we suffer in our lives. In the Pali language, the for clinging is tanha, which literally means to thirst or want. The second of the Four Noble Truths speak about clinging and suffering, and the Buddhist teachings speak about how clinging prohibits you from seeing things as transient and impermanent, kind of a wishing that something doesn't change. Of course, if we lose a loved one through separation or death, we will feel certain emotions. It's normal. However, instead of tethering these experiences to us and attaching them further to a problematic narrative in our restless minds, we can allow these experiences to naturally pass on, which makes us available to new experiences in the current moment. This practice will naturally promote inner peace and happiness. So today, let's examine what we're clinging to in terms of people, places, and things. Maybe our opinions or whatever. That idea of not not having something move on that we believe that should be held around. It could be a resentment towards someone, justifiable or not justifiable. We can make a lot of uh, things happen in our mind that are not in reality. So thank you for sharing with me today this entry, and I look forward to your future uh, joining with me with other future readings. Thank you. Have a good day.